and welcome back to my cancer podcast. I once again want to thank each and every one of you who have been supporting me throughout this journey and who have been there for me in this cancer podcast journey. If you are new and listening to this podcast for the very first time, I have completed the first season of my cancer podcast and also two episodes in the second season of My Cancer Podcast. I will link every episode in the description. And if you are new listening to this podcast, you can go back and listen to those episodes so that you can be more updated and you can follow what I'm talking about. In the previous episode, I talked about going to a new hospital and being at the right place at the right time. It was really a blessing for me because throughout my cancer journey, I have been placed in the right place at the right time, and it has been a very blessed journey, and I am able to find the right people for my journey. If anyone are suffering from diseases like cancer, it is a long process and it is not easy to get it done in a single place at a stretch. Sometimes you are forced to go to new places and start over the journey all over again. That is what happened to me. If you are already taking treatment and if you are going to a new hospital, everyone listening and experienced those kind of situations will know what I am talking about because it is a very frustrating thing to do, going to a new place, starting all over again, and you have to go through all the procedures once again. Going to a new place will also give you some kind of anxiety, and this does not apply to everyone. This applies to people who have been facing anxiety and who have anxiety going to new places. So that is what happened to me. I have anxiety going to new places, and it will be the same for all those who are going to a new place. When you step into a new place, it will become completely different. Your mindset will change. You will start to think about different things, whether it will work out, how you are going to be received in that place, and so on. And it is very frustrating to be in a place where you don't know what you're going to expect. That is exactly what was going through my mind when I entered the new hospital that I'm going to get treated in the future. When I entered, it was a typical hospital like any other hospital with full of patients and full of staff and doctors busily treating patients. It is the first time for me seeing that hospital and going into the hospital environment. So I was a little bit confused and I was a little bit concerned whether my doctor is going to be gentle with me, whether I will be treated completely here or I have to come back later. So it was kind of a dilemma for me, and as I was suffering from the side effects of the previous chemo treatment, it was kind of weird and frightening for me thinking what to expect. But to be honest, the whole hospital environment and the vibes of the hospital for me changed as soon as I started talking to the hospital staff, and they were very supportive and they were very kind and they were very welcoming to the new person like me. So it allowed me to quickly adapt to the environment, and they helped me to get to the doctor easily, as the doctor I was going to consult is a very busy doctor. To be honest, when I entered the hospital, I was in a very weak physical condition and I was not able to even stand properly. So the procedure have to be very quick and I have to be handled very gently at that time. The hospital staff knew that perfectly and they were able to help me in getting through all the line and getting through with the doctor quickly. When I have to meet a new doctor, it was always terrifying and tense for me because I was always nervous and I was always unlikely to meet and go to doctors. This time also, I was not sure whether it will be a good experience or it will be a bad experience. Irrespective of that, I have to go through with this because I have to fight this cancer. I have to come out of this situation. So I pulled up all the confidence and I went through to meet the doctor. First time meeting with my doctor was a very smooth experience and it became more and more easy as I talked to him and I explained to him my situation and what I went through with the previous treatments. He was very supportive and he was very straightforward and he was very experienced, so he handled my situation perfectly so that I could be more confident that it is going to be an easy experience. He went through all my previous reports, all my tests, all my examinations results, and like every other doctor, they want to be sure, they want us to get tested in their place because it will be very confident for them, it will be easy for them to assess the current situation rather than basing on previous reports. So he asked me to go through some medical tests and scans so that he can analyze my situation better, and I have to go through them again in the new environment and it will be not easy. So I took the doctor's advice. I was ready to go to the test and I was preparing myself mentally inside my head. The very positive thing and the best thing that could have ever happened to me is my father being there by my side all the time throughout this journey. He was always there, he was always supportive, and he was the one who gave me confidence and strength to go through this medical test again. Generally, what I have seen in these hospitals is that if you have to take multiple kind of medical tests, you have to go to different places in the hospital premises. So I went to those places one by one. I gave my blood for tests. I even went through with all the scans at different places. I completed all the medical examinations that my doctor wanted me to go through, and it was time for me to take rest for that time. And it was already mid afternoon, and I did not take anything for the test since morning. So we decided to go for lunch and we have to wait for the results for some time as all the tests combined may take 3 to 4 hours. I will continue talking about the results of those medical tests in the next episode. The main aim of this podcast is to share my cancer journey and my experiences so that it will help at least some of you who are going through similar or different kinds of experiences and experiencing difficult situations. The most important thing I wanted to tell everyone from this podcast and all my podcast series is that we have to be positive, we have to fight every situation we face, and we have to come out of them with lots of positivity and strength, especially inner strength. And your mind is a very powerful tool which will help you to come out of every kind of situation and which will help you to be successful. So I hope everyone are having a great day and everyone are staying safe. If you think this podcast help you or it helps at least others, share the podcast with your family, friends, relatives or any other people who you think needs some positivity in life. Thank you and keep smiling.